All right, today I want to talk about a couple things that have been, on my mind. And, I have nobody to talk to. Like, I am completely isolated and alone. Like, thank God for the internet. Because, first off, I don't know where to start. First off, my blood pressure has, for the past, month or two, this has been concerning me because it all started when I went to go pick up medication for my grandma. I used the machine at CVS, and I noticed it was high, and I was like, oh, maybe that's just, maybe it's a false reading, whatever. And every time I go to Walmart or CVS, I check it, and it's always high, so I'm just like, Usually it's anywhere from 150, 160 over 100, maybe anywhere from 90 to 100. And I use my dad's machine at home, and it's the same, for example, I'll have maybe 157 over 101. And, I don't know if it's just the constant stress, me just being alone. I just feel like crap all the time. I can't even believe my life turned out the way it did. I'm pretty much completely beyond saving at this point. I don't have motivation to do squat. I really don't. I'm just hoping at this point that I'll get a seasonal job at maybe UPS or FedEx or something for the time being, because first off, I'm running low on money. My whole family has been just calling me constantly, weekly. Every couple days they'll just call me, tell me to check myself into a hospital, come home, what are you doing? Why did you make a rash decision and just up and leave everything behind and move in with your father? I really wish I had a normal mother that I could talk to that just didn't constantly give me so much stress and anxiety and everything. And I did take a shot at just trying to do something new and change my life, and because I did I up and left to live with my dad because I couldn't stand my life. And just to come to find out, what was I even thinking? It's still the same, still by myself. It doesn't really matter where I go. And it's crazy because my whole family keeps telling me you're a loser, what are you doing, oh my god, you keep running from yourself. And it's just insane. These people are literally driving me insane. And to even think about, they're not even here. But it seems I can't do anything right to make them happy. Because even when I did start working last year, when I got my warehouse job, that was my first real job. And because I worked temporary jobs, because that was the only people that would hire me. And I thought they would congratulate me, be happy. But my mom's because this is the thing, when I wasn't working, they were all pissed at me. They're always oh, why are you not working? Why, that's strange, why are you not working? And I just felt like crap. My mom constantly just comparing me to everybody. Oh, look at so-and-so's son. He's working. He's going to school for this, and he's doing that. And, finally start working. I'm thinking, oh, they're going to probably be proud that I finally got a job. And, of course, they're oh, you're working in a warehouse. You're never going to make any money. Get out of there. Don't work there. Get a real job. And, I would come home after work, guys, and this is why I chose to work 10 to 12 hour days. It was just to get away from my mom, because I would come home after work and immediately it would be 9, 10 o'clock at night. She'd be sitting on the couch. She'd start crying, and I'd be oh, here we go again. Yeah. And she'd be you're not normal. What you're doing is not normal. I bet you didn't even talk to anybody today. What's going on? People your age, they're out there, they're hanging out with friends, they're doing things. Why are you working so much? Why are you? And it's always something, guys. It was always something, and there'd be days where she'd be crying in her room over me. I'd be what am I doing? And then she'd go from super sad to super angry to super sad again. She'd be screaming in my face, and I didn't even realize how messed up it was until just recently, like now that I'm away from it, like she would do this thing where she'd just randomly like for example, like I remember one day I was sitting on the couch and she just like, I was on my phone, it was like my day off. She just slapped my phone out of my hand, started screaming at me, "You're sick in the head. Why aren't you going out there? The so-and-so son, he's going to this and that, and he joins clubs and he does this." And I'm like, and of course, like I got pissed, and she's like, see, you're sick in the head. You're sick. And it's just insane. Like, and this is the thing too, like I finally now can like sleep in as late as I want, because like this is like one thing that would happen. Like if I slept like past 9 o'clock, like 9 a.m, she would like literally come into my room screaming, rip the covers off me. "You're sleeping too late. Are you sick in the head? That's what sick people do. Do I need to call a doctor? And it's like, shut up. She's like, "Oh, you're waking up angry. Oh my God." And like, again, like it's just insane to even live like that, you know, on top of, first off, just having no friends, because I lost all my friends in like May of like last year, and like I've been friendless ever since. And it's like, you know, just constantly like there's no escape at all. Like, and I don't know if you guys could like relate to this, but like if you're broke and like you got nowhere to go, and you know, you're fighting with like your parents or something, like you're over the age of 18 and you know, you're fighting over something, and, you know, they say, "Get out of the house, you're out of here." And, you know, you get into this huge fight, and this is what would happen. I would drive around, I would get in my car, just drive around. I'd be like, you know, it would be like a half an hour. I'd be like, fuck. I'd come back home because I had nowhere to go. And then, yeah, you just come back home because you got nowhere to go, and you just start fighting again. You leave again. You come back because you got nowhere to go. It's just insane. It's insane. Like, I wish I had somewhere to go. I wish, I met the girl of my dreams, like my parents said I would. That's another thing too, like, that she would say all the time. "You're sick in the head because most people by your age, they moved out with their girlfriends by now, or they're in college in their dorms, or what you're doing isn't normal. It's not normal." Like, she would say that so much because, like, she just couldn't accept that, like, I worked a minimum wage job and I had no girlfriend and friends. Like, and even when I did have friends, guys, like, she would get so mad that I didn't see them every day, because when I did have friends, I saw them like maybe tops once a month, especially, during college, maybe like once a month, once every 2 months we'd hang out. And my mom would get so mad at that. She'd be like, "Call your friends now! Call your friends now!" She'd be like screaming over it. It's like, what? This isn't even like your life. What do you, like, why? That's what I don't understand. Like, why she would get so mad at like my failures, like how I'm living my life. Like, I never understood it at all. And, even before I left, before like I just left my job behind, didn't even give my 2 weeks. I pretty much took off for 2 weeks because I thought my mom was she pretty much took a vacation to California. I thought she was gonna be there for 2 weeks straight, but she was only there for like a couple days. And we came back, and just us, like, because I would normally be working all the time. I wouldn't even really be near my mom. And that's when she kept saying, like, "You got to go to the hospital. You got to go to the hospital. You're just sitting inside all day. You got to go to the hospital. There's something wrong in your head. Why aren't you going out there? Why aren't you?" It's just like insane. And, her whole plan is to basically, once I quote unquote come home, which I'm never going back there. I'm never going to my uncle's house. I'm never going back to my mom's house. I can't, for my own sanity. But if I did, she basically says, "You're going to the hospital right away, immediately. Then they'll put you on medications. Then we're going to eat right. We'll get you healthy. You'll eat tons of salads. You'll go to the gym. Then I'll find you a job. And then you're going to go to a group home because I can't deal with this. Once we get your life situated, we'll put you in a home, and then you can figure it out for yourself." It's like, she wants me to go into a group home after everything's like said and done. But like, the sad truth about it too, man, it's like, I would have this happen so many, like, it's all talk. Like, I've had this happen like every couple years. She'll say this stuff. I'll go to the hospital, or I'll see a bunch of therapists and life coaches. They don't help at all. They don't do anything. and I end up in the same spot, and it is what it is. Because I already know it wouldn't be any different, you know, it really wouldn't. And I already, like, I'm gonna hear people say, like, oh, bro, like, clearly, like, your life isn't that bad, bro, and, like, you know, it doesn't have anything to do with your genetics and that you're ugly, bro. Like, it just doesn't have to do with it, bro. It's like, it's obviously your upbringing, bro, and, you know, it really isn't. I mean, well, this is the horrid part. It's a combination of all these things, man. It really is. Like, it's like the ultimate, like, fucking combo of, like, kicks and punches, you know, because at least if I was attractive, like, if I was good looking and I had a crazy family, I'd maybe have, like, a nice supporting girlfriend to, like, say, don't listen to that, sweetie, and all that shit. Or I'd have friends who'd just be behind my back. I have no one, guys. I got nothing. You know, I got nobody to, like, help me. Even, like, these therapists and bullshit, they don't care. Like, you pay them to care about you, which they really don't. But, you know, I don't know if I talked about this, though, but I think I might have in my last video. I don't know if I mentioned it, though, but I went to the mall by myself, which I've gone there a few times. It's just, I don't know why I do this to myself. I really don't. But basically, you know, I was walking and there was like a bunch of like college girls that were walking by. So basically, I was walking one direction. There was like maybe like 5 of them walking the other direction. They were all talking, and just immediately it was like hive mind. They just looked at me and they all made the same face. It was the most brutal biological, you know, like, oh my God. I felt like so embarrassed. I wasn't mad or anything. I was just like embarrassed, and basically all their nostrils flared up. They made the same face. And trust me, if you've had this happen to you, you know the face. You know the face. Their nostrils flared up and they frowned. They just stopped talking and made the same face. And I just like felt like so humiliated. And like, of course, you know, you're gonna get people say, bro, that just didn't happen, bro. That's all in your head, bro. You're lying, bro. That doesn't happen, bro. That just doesn't happen. That didn't happen, bro. And it's like, I mean, I don't understand. Like, I don't get, like, maybe normal people wouldn't have that happen or understand. I feel like you'd only get reactions if you're either really ugly or like really attractive. I feel like most normies wouldn't understand that at all. Like, you know, unless you're like super subhuman or like Brad Pitt looks, you'd get it. Like, you'd understand, like, people react when they look at you. And I bet even if somebody, guys, was like, you know, watch that happen, like saw that happen, they'd have like some elaborate, like, they'd be like, oh, bro, like, I think what happened, bro, like, it wasn't your looks, bro. Like, I think what happened was somebody farted in the Hot Topic, bro, and it went through the air vents, bro. And like, honestly, like, at the same millisecond that they saw you, the fucking fart, bro, just, it came out the air vent, bro, and hit their noses, and they smelled shit, bro. And like, that's what happened, bro. It didn't have anything to do with your looks, because, bro, that doesn't happen. It's all in your head, bro. Like, it's just so all in your head, bro. Like, honestly, bro, like, it has nothing to do with your looks, bro. And you're tall, bro. You're tall, bro. I always I just, again, like, I don't care. Like, sure, like, I'm above average in height by 2.5 inches, but from my experience, it doesn't do anything. I've never been called tall. Like, I guess I'm like a good, solid height. Like, I'm so, like, I mean, I guess I am 6 foot if I wear shoes, but like, you know, because I always wear the Air Forces for that like extra inch, but like, it doesn't do anything, you know. I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of getting rejected and just, you know, feeling like crap all the time. I mean, you know, relationships I haven't really cared about, like, as of lately. Like, my sex drive is kind of like low. Like, people think like I care so much about like having a girlfriend. I really don't anymore. Like, I don't think it's gonna happen, like, ever. Like, I don't think I'll ever have like a woman like genuinely like be sexually attracted to me, because like, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, like 100% of women that I've tried to get with have all friend zoned me. Or, I mean, I've had some, you already know, like, I've had some brutal rejections before, and like, it is what it is. But like, man, I got too much stuff to worry about to even care about that. First off, like, I mean, even now too, on top of being completely subhuman, imagine me like going on a date and saying, yeah, like, I live in a shit smelling, you know, mobile home with my drunk dad. I got no job, and like it's just like the ultimate wombo combo. Like I said, you just get constantly like beat up. It's just like the worst like possible combination, having like crazy parents, a crazy family on top of like being genetically like unattractive. It's just like the worst, man. It's just the worst. Because like all my family they're all like oofy doofies. They're all in failed marriages. They're all stressed, crying. Ugh, man. All right, so like let me just like go off on my uncle real quick, and pretty much just like everything that's just, first off, it gave me the worst, and I mean worst, anxiety, panic attack that I've ever had in my entire life. So my mom, ever since I got here, she's pretty much been calling people 24/7, like just random people in my family, like her friends, all that stuff, just telling them like how sick I am. He's living in the middle of nowhere in squalor. Oh my God, he's gonna lose it. He's got no job. Oh my God. And I'll get calls from people, like my uncle just takes the cake for them because he's been doing it ever since I got here. He'll pretty much call me, and he's been saying the same thing over and over again. Like, he keeps saying, you ain't a man, your father ain't a man, your father a loser, he's a loser. And he sounds like he's permanently crying. Like, my uncle has the weirdest voice I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, it sounds like he's just like permanently crying. It's just like soy running through his vocal cords. Like, I don't know what to make of it, but he'll basically say that, and I think my mom's getting to him, like getting to his head rent free, because he called me last week, and this is what gave me the worst anxiety. So he called me, and he's like, I talked with your mother, you're coming to live with me. And, he gave me all these rules right away. He's like, you ain't ever working in a warehouse again. If you want to work in a warehouse, see what happens. I'm kicking you the fuck out. And I was like, what? Like, it just made me so mad because of how bizarre that is. Like, I'm like, so if I work in a warehouse, you're kicking me out? He's like, yup, that ain't a job. He's like, I'll turn you into a man. And, oh my God. And then all of a sudden, like literally out of nowhere, he started screaming. And I thought, like, I'm so surprised I didn't catch like the soy through the phone, because he was voice cracking. So I mean, now I'm like, now that like it's over and done with, like I can laugh about it now, but like during the phone call, so yeah, he just started screaming. He's like, come here now, I'm coming to get you. If you ain't here by the weekend, I'm getting in my car and I'm coming to get you. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was just like, I was like, oh my God. So like my heart started racing. I'm like, shit. See, is this guy really gonna fucking come to the house and, come pick me up? And, my dad, I like told my dad, like, don't freak out, but, my uncle might randomly show up this weekend. He's like, get my gun. I'm getting my gun. This is my property. He ain't coming here. And then he started screaming, and that just like, I literally felt like I was going to pass out. Like my vision started getting all fucked. Like it felt like my heart was going to just pop out of my chest and start running. Like I literally fell asleep. I'm not even kidding. Like I just laid down and I fell asleep. And I guess because, like, my body just had, like, this huge adrenaline spike. I don't know. But, like, the thing is, too, like, even, like, my mom threatening to condemn the house. She's like, I'm going to call somebody to condemn the house because clearly it isn't safe. Like, I'll just tell her, I just want a normal mom. Why the fuck can't I talk to her about my living situation and not have her, like, call every fucking family member I have, every one of her friends, her threatening to call the fucking government to come condemn the house because it's too dirty and unsafe, which I don't think. In the house, it's a fucking mess, but I don't think it's, like, unsafe, like, to get, like, actually condemned. But it's just so sad. Of course, that gave me, like, horrible anxiety. And again, too, like, why I will never live with my uncle, guys, is because, first off, my uncle is the epitome 100% definition of oofy doofy beta bucks deluxe. Like, he has a very high paying successful job. He paid so much money in alimony to the 3 women that he married and divorced. He got cheated on, and I remember, like, this was his 3rd marriage. This woman, this fucking woman, guys, screwed him over more than you could possibly imagine. They weren't dating for long. They're dating for like maybe a couple months. I went to their wedding, which I think I was like 10 or 11 at the time. This was like kind of around the time that my parents had gotten divorced, but they didn't know each other for long. My whole family was like, it's a bad idea. And my uncle, he's such a, he talks about how much of a man he is, and shaming me and my dad. You guys ain't men. You ain't a man. You ain't a man. It's like, dude, you ain't a man because of those fucking vocal cords. Like, you're like, you fucking strain your voice, too hard, you might turn into a fucking woman, dude. Like, holy shit. But anyway, his third marriage, this woman, oh my God. So yeah, he didn't know her for long. That's already a red flag. They got married really, really fast. My uncle pretty much, because my uncle owns like so many properties, and this is like the thing, like he is paying so much money, like in alimony still, to like one of his wives. I think the other two, like, he doesn't pay anymore, but it's a couple grand, and like he owns so many properties, and even bought his first wife a house and pays for the house. So if you're doing that, you're making good money. Obviously, clearly money isn't an issue for you, but anyway, this third wife, they pretty much got divorced within the month. She took everything in the house, oh my God, divorced his ass, and it was just so brutal. And the thing is, like, she was cheating on him, like, left and right. And I even remember this, like, because I was young at the time, but I remember my grandma, because my mom and grandma, I used to live with my grandma as well before she moved out, and on my mom's side. But anyway, so yeah, they were talking about, like, because my uncle was like, he kept getting cheated on, like, he caught her cheating, and he didn't do anything about it. Like, my family kept telling him to leave her, and he said, but I just wanted to be happy. If guys, I'm not even joking, if you're at a point in your life where your girlfriend is cheating on you, and you're allowing it to happen, and you're saying, as long as she's happy, as long as my wife's happy, that's all I care about, it's over for you. And it's so funny, because these are the type of dudes that are commenting and saying, bro, I got a girlfriend, bro, it's not over for you, bro. Oh, dude, that's an even worse fate than being alone. Because look at my uncle, like, when that woman left him, he pretty much, like, lost his mind. He just has this, like, oofy doofy thing of, It's so typical too, because like with these guys, they're so scared to be alone that they just like keep jumping into like these horrible relationships. And the brutal thing about it is, like, with my cousin, and this is the reason why I will never live with my uncle. Even though he offered it, I'd probably just lose my mind as well there, because first off, my cousin, which might not even be biologically related to me, I found this out like pretty recently, like maybe within the past year. My mom just randomly told me. So the second wife that my uncle had, I think she was like an escort or something. I don't exactly know. Escort or stripper or something like that. And when she got pregnant, like, she was dating my uncle, and clearly, they pretty much, and this is the thing, he's the second person in my family. So, this is so fucking so brutal, because I'm thinking about like my cousins, like, from my uncle. I'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, he's the second cousin I have that's over 6 foot. Supposedly he's 6'4". He's 18 years old. He's supposedly 6'4", but like in reality, maybe he's like 6'2.5", 6'3". Still tall. Taller than like pretty much everyone in my family. We're all the same heights. We're all like 5'9" to 5'11". But yeah, he might not be biologically related to me, because like pretty much, like, yeah, she's a stripper, escort, and my family, like, apparently, like, my mom was telling me how they wanted him to get a paternity test so bad, but he refused, and he kept saying, like, I'll raise him like he's my own, I know he's my own, and just completely refused to get a paternity test. So he might be just raising my cousin who's not even related to him. That's the even more brutal part about him. What makes him even more of an oofy doofy is the fact that he's potentially raising a kid that is not his own. And that's the thing too, like, if I was living in that environment with my cousin, like, because I've said it before, like, my cousin, he used to get picked on, he used to get bullied all the time, he had what I had, late puberty, so maybe he is related to me, I don't know. Like, now my cousin thinks I'm like a complete loser, and just like looks down on me, like, he's just like completely disappointed. I get phone calls all the time from my mom, just like her, just like praising him, like, and this is the reason why she wants me to live with my uncle. She basically called me the other day, and it was so cringe. She basically said, your cousin, he's in college, he knows his path, he has a nice girlfriend, a nice pretty girlfriend who's in the honor society, he eats grilled chicken every day, he goes to the gym, go to the gym again, work out. And I'm like, I'm so sick and tired of the gym. I don't care about the gym. I fixed the problem of being overweight. I don't have to fucking drive to a building to walk into it, to lift a metal bar and walk on a never-ending treadmill to prove I'm a man. Or like I was already, this is the whole irony, which is like absolutely hysterical to me, because I was doing that. I was eating grilled chicken. Literally, that was the only thing I ate at my job. I was doing back-breaking labor most days, not every single day, because I did do a lot of stuff at my job, but I was, pretty much lifting stuff all day. All I ate was grilled chicken and steak. Oh, and that reminds me too. Holy shit, I just almost forgot about this. I remember one day, I came home after work because, like, the grilled chicken, like, there's this Italian place I would go to before work. It was like highway robbery. Like, it was like $5. You get a ton, and I mean a ton of, like, grilled chicken in, like, this big-ass aluminum tin. And, but I remember, anyway, one day, because I had the steaks in the freezer. I had, like, maybe 3 left. And because that was all I ate after work. And I remember one day they were just gone, and I was like, I asked my mom, like, what happened to them? Like, if you ate them, I don't really care. And she goes, I don't know what happened to them. I was like, okay. Like, I just thought it was weird. And she basically was like, I threw them out. I don't want you're eating the same thing every day. You're gonna get sick. I'm not sending you to the hospital because you got sick from eating the same thing every day. And it just, like, pissed me off. It really did. I was just like, really? But anyway, another reason why I don't want to live there, my uncle even said, he's like, you ain't sitting around and doing nothing. You're going to work a good job. And it's like, I'm probably going to get kicked out anyway, because, like, I'm going to be applying to all these places that, like, I'm just don't even stand a chance at, and just still remain unemployed. And he doesn't want me working at a warehouse because, God forbid, for some reason, I don't know why. So I just can't go there. And my cousin, him just, like, constantly leaving the house, going out with his friends and his girlfriend, and they're just gonna look at me like, who's this fucking loser? Probably gonna, like, ask me to buy them alcohol and all this stuff and vapes. I'm not doing it. I already went through that shit at work. Hey man, can you buy me alcohol, bro? Can you buy me the alk? Dude, I'm not doing any of that. Like, oh man, it's probably gonna be one disaster after another, because, like, there's nothing, like, really more humiliating than, like, watching a bunch of other people succeed while you just, like, kind of stay in the same spot. Like, it really gets to you. Like, at least for me, like, I would say, like, I'm relatively, like, a jealous person. Like, I try not to be, but, like, it's just, like, impossible. Also, let me just, like, explain, like, the two other sons that my uncle has and his daughter. So it's the most brutal thing in the world. My oofy doofy family. So basically, one of them is a turbo manlet. Like, he's like 5'6", 5'5". He's bloated to death. Like, he's just like an average subhuman slopper. Like, he just eats fucking shit all day. Apparently he's doing really good. Like, he makes $150K a year, but, he was married. Yeah, he got divorced, blah, blah. He's mid-30s, probably not going to have kids. Just like, so he's just soyed up. It's over. But the other cousin I have, he's probably the second tallest one in my family that's, like, over 6 foot. So technically, if my 6'4" cousin isn't biologically related, then I guess it doesn't count. So for being the tallest. So basically, this guy, he's 6'2". He's balder than bald. Like, literally, he just, like, he can't grow hair. Like, bald. Like, it's just completely shaved, fucking shining cue ball. His head looks like a pool ball if it was shaped like an egg, because, like, he can't grow a beard either. He's like 500 pounds. Like, he always got bullied his whole life. I mean, it's pretty sad. But what's even more messed up is that his wife, so I guess what would that make? I don't know exactly what that, so my cousin had a child. What would that make me? I don't know. But anyway, the son that they had is extremely autistic, like non-functioning, non-verbal. He's pretty much going to need help his whole life because, you know, his wife wouldn't stop smoking. You know, my cousins were all oofy doofies, guys. They're all like so scared to be alone, and like they just put up with these like toxic relationships, and they get like bossed around constantly. You know, I'm gonna even make a video on just like oofy doofies pretty soon. Like, my mom even told me the other day, like, you need a strong woman who can take care of you because you can't do it yourself. It was the most brutal thing I've ever heard, like, coming out of my mom's mouth. But anyway, yeah, he's just like completely bossed around, and she wouldn't stop smoking during the pregnancy, and he's like super autistic and just can't function. And they also had a daughter, which, same thing, she smoked the whole pregnancy, except she came out fine. She has like these green, like literal sparkling eyes, and I even remember like my family just like praises her, and like she doesn't even do anything. She's like 3 years old at the moment. Like, she has a sparkling personality. That's what my mom said. It's like, she doesn't even fucking talk yet. What personality are you talking about? But yeah, it's just like such like, it's so brutally blackpilling. Like, it's just like unreal. Like, and this is the thing. The last one is the daughter, and I shit you not, she's dating this fucking 6'5" literal lumberjack. Like, this guy is just bulky, like a literal like textbook definition of like a Chad. Like, it's just hysterical. The dude's got blue eyes, blonde hair, and you know, this deep masculine voice, and the dude just like mogs, like, oh my god. And she saved the bloodline. Like, her sons her sons are all like 6-7 years old, and you know, they're all the same thing, blue eyes, blonde hair. And I even remember too, like, when they were like growing, like, you know, when they were younger, they like, because like my mom was trying to get them was it like gifts, like what is it, like birthday gifts or something, like for her sons, and they had to tell her like he's not like a normal size, like they're growing too fast. They're growing too fast, and they're like 3 times the size they should be, so gotta get them different clothes. God, they already won in life, guys. Like, just by being born, it's like, it's brutal because it's like a part of my own family too, man. It's like all my cousin, female cousin, she made the right choice to marry that lumberjack. So, I mean, good for you. Just saved the bloodline, you know. Just gave her sons an easy life. But yeah, I'm just so screwed. I don't have any money to do anything now because I wasted it all. Just not even on, it's just on basic car payments too. And you know, I'm so grateful like I even have a car, because like I don't know how you guys cope without a car. Like, you're pretty much just like stuck in one spot like forever, like, you know, unless you like walk somewhere or, you know, have a bike. Because it's ironic, like the job I used to work, like the reason why they asked me to do deliveries was because I was the only one with a license and the only one with a car. So that's how that kind of started happening, because everyone else rode their bike or just didn't have their license. And you know, the only reason I even have a car too is because like the whole college thing, like my mom pretty much like called my dad 24/7. Please, he needs a car to get to college. Please help him. Please help him, please. And, you know, just constantly calling him, and like she ended up like blackmailing him or something, which my dad recently like actually told me, which, because, you know, I've been living with him, and so pretty much like my dad didn't pay child support at all. Like, he didn't have to because my mom didn't want him to, but he did have to pay alimony, which I didn't know. And my dad was like, oh, I kind of half-assed it and didn't pay it. I mean, it's kind of my fault, but your mother, you know, she does what she does. And she basically, like, threatened to take him to court and pay whatever he owes plus more, and he didn't want to do that. So basically, he drove, and I remember this day, too. He drove 15 hours. God, was he so pissed. And, you know, knocked on the door. He's like, come on, let's go. We went to the dealership. He picked out a car right away, and the guy was probably so confused, like, as to like why he was, because my dad was shaking, guys. Like he was like that mad. And I just picked out a car, didn't negotiate anything. And again, like most of my savings like goes towards my car. Like it's $886 a month. And I think, yeah, because it's a new car, and because I'm under 25, I think that's the only reason why it's so high. But yeah, man, like if I lose my car, oh my god, like but my dad, I don't think he'll like let that happen, because maybe he'll help me out with it. But yeah, man, that was just like so brutal. Like he literally came, he just picked it out real quick. He's like, that one, and didn't negotiate any prices. He's like, whatever, I'll buy it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I drove it home, and literally we were in there. The second we walked in, we walked out with a car. Like it was just that quick. And my mom was happy. God, that was a stressful moment in my life too. Jesus Christ. But I mean, yeah, that's the one thing in my life I'm grateful for, is having a car. So there's that.